Big news, guys. The M3 chipset is delayed until 2024, and Apple is for one to confirm this. You heard me right. Apple have actually confirmed this at WWDC 2023, and there was two places where they kind of showed why this is going to happen and why M3 is not going to be coming out in 2023, but it in fact will be coming out in 2024. And let me show you why. Now, both of these reasons actually do make quite a lot of sense, and the first one was the last thing that we saw at WWDC 2023, and that was the Vision Pro. The Vision Pro is Apple's next big leap in hardware, and this is their future. This is their big shining device that everyone is singing and talking about and dancing about, you name it. This is the main device. This is the main thing ever since, say, the launch of the iPhone, or for example of the iPad. Everybody, or what Apple wants to get, is everybody on board with this new device, and that's why it was announced at WWDC 2023 to get developers on board, get them coding, getting apps ready, and things like this. But the thing what was also announced at WWDC 2023 was the actual Vision Pro will not be coming out to early 2024. And the main reason behind this is Apple actually need to scale up production for this device and get it ready. And also Apple said it would only be available in America on day one, and then it would start going out to other countries too. But what does this mean then, and why does this mean that M3 is delayed? Well, the main reason is to do with the actual specs of the Vision Pro. Now, two of the chips that actually power the Vision Pro is that brand new R1 chipset, which basically sorts out all the sensors and everything like that. But the other chip what's inside it is actually an M2 chipset. This is the same chipset that got announced at WWDC 2022, and this chipset also just got put in the likes of the MacBook Air this year, just back in 2023 at WWDC. And I'll talk about the MacBook Air a little bit more, because that's a bit more to the story too. But the main thing is the M2 chipset is going in Apple's sort of grand, you know, all singing, all dancing. This is like their flagship device going forwards. And for one, I don't think that they'll be wanting to put an M3 out or get an M3 device out there before this device actually comes out first. So you kind of make sense when you think about it, especially it costs $3,500, that Apple don't want to bring out another device that's say worth, I don't know, say $1,000 or say $1,300 with an M3 chipset inside it. If they've just announced the Vision Pro, they need to get the Vision Pro out first before they start bringing out a better chipset in a different device. Because at the end of the day, we know the M3 is definitely be better than the actual M2. So it just makes complete sense straight away with that. Reason number two is also to do with that MacBook Air that I just talked about, the brand new 15-inch MacBook Air. This is also powered by the M2 chipset that came out over a year ago, and this came in the likes of the MacBook Pro and also the 13-inch MacBook Air. We've had it in like the Mac Mini and iPads too. And the main thing is, I don't think really that Apple will want to bring out an M3 chipset so soon if they've just brought out the MacBook Air with the M2 chipset inside it in that 15-inch model. It just doesn't make sense. And one of the things that people are going to say is, well, maybe the 13-inch MacBook Air will come out first with the M3, and then the MacBook Air with an M3 with a 15-inch one will come out at a later date instead. I don't think probably this is going to happen. If you look at Apple right now, generally most of their products that they have out there, they always have two sizes. So looking at the Apple Watch, we have two different sizes for your wrist, for example. Then if we look at, say, the iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Plus, they're exactly the same specs, but two different sizes. The 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max the same. The iPad Pro, the 11-inch and the 12.9-inch. You know, I could just keep on going and going here, like the MacBook Pros, for example, as well, 14 and 16-inch. I think Apple in the future are going to release sort of an M3 chipset inside the 13-inch and also the 15-inch MacBook Air going forwards. And being that we just got the brand new 15-inch MacBook Air with an M2, it's very unlikely Apple's just going to put this chip inside it and let's say came fall of this year, so 6 months later, not even that, 4-5 months later, they're going to put an M3 inside it. It just doesn't make sense for Apple to do that. So there is another big reason why M3 is probably not going to be coming out at the end of this year, at the fall of 2023. But the big question that you've probably been wanting to know is, well, when will it come out? And also, we've also seen news that we're going to be getting, 3 nanometer chips coming out the end of this year. What are they all about? Well, I believe that the 3 nanometer chips are still coming out, but I think they're reserved for the A17 chipset. This is going to be the chipset that's going to be putting the likes of the brand new iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max, or even the Ultra potentially, and it will be put inside that. And then after that, we will get the brand new M3 probably around about springtime in 2024. Most likely the Vision Pro will come out probably kind of January or February time in 2024, and probably around about springtime Apple might do an event around about then to announce the brand new M3 chipset and also bring out some devices with that too. And it does actually make quite a lot of sense when you think about this. The other scenario is that there might not be an event at all in March 2024, and we might have to wait for WWDC 2024 to get the announcement of the M3 at that stage. Maybe Apple wants to put more dedication into the likes of their brand new Vision Pro first over the first half of the year and get that completely rolled out, get the reviews up before they make any announcements for any new products. And again, this would make a lot of sense too. The other thing as well that we've been told is that we have actually seen a few new articles recently saying that Apple are working on a larger sort of iMac right now, like a 30-inch plus model, and with that, most likely the iMac, the current one with the M1 chipset, will also get refreshed too. So with that too, we would probably get an M2 chipset inside it. We didn't think this was going to happen, but there again at WWDC 2023, about a month or two before it, we didn't actually think that there would be a Mac Pro and a Mac Studio announced and launched at the same time. We actually thought that the sales would scupper one or the other if they had launched one product or launched both of them together. And sure enough, that kind of has actually happened. But I think Apple are going to be doing this going forward too, with their brand new iMacs that look like they could be coming the fall of 2023. And also there is the potential of the iPad Air to get that M2 chipset inside it as well, because it's been over 18 months by that time. And at the end of the day, if we remember in 2021 when we got the iPad Pro with the M1, it was a year later in 2022 that the iPad Air got an M1 chipset. So you get the idea. At the end of 2022, we got the iPad Pro with the M2. So at the end of 2023 makes sense, the iPad Air with the M2 too. So, it does make sense as well that the M2 journey hasn't fully been completed yet, and the M3 journey definitely looks like it's probably coming towards 2024. Now, I know to a lot of you, this may sound a bit disappointing that the M3 is going to be delayed a bit longer, but I think it also does answer a lot of questions right now. A lot of you guys are going, I'm going to be waiting till, a few more months to get the M3 MacBook Air or the M3 iPad Pro. At the end of the day, I don't think we're going to be seeing like an M3 iPad Pro, until at least summer next year. So if you are thinking of getting yourself an iPad Pro and M2, get it now, I'd say. There's some good deals already because it's been out for over 6-7 months now at the time of making this video. But also at the same time, get that MacBook Air as well with the M2. They are still really, really awesome devices, because I don't think we're going to be seeing them or a brand new refresh model for some time yet, not until at least kind of the midway point of 2024 at the absolute earliest. So with that, as you can see, I don't think M3 is coming anytime soon. I do sound a bit like a broken record, repeating myself there. And I think, like I said, Apple have kind of confirmed this at WWDC 2023, that it will not be coming anytime soon, and most likely it not coming in 2023. But what I will say is, I love to be proved wrong, and to be honest, I really want an M3 chipset device as soon as possible. So, I do hope that this kind of facts and working out is actually completely wrong, because I would love to have an M3 device this year. But let me know your thoughts as well. What do you think? Do you think this makes sense? Or do you think that Apple will bring out the M3 before launching the Vision Pro, for example, and then also refresh that brand new 15-inch MacBook Air instantly? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And also, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons, please also make sure you subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell too. Until next time, guys, I will see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.